All right.
Okay, good. All right, let's start. Alice, with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're sunburned, and you had a great time today. Yay!
Sunburn. I think it's just really just like a red. I'm against a red bedspread.
Okay.
And the light is down here. I don't think I'm actually sunburned. It's just really, really bad quality. But anyway,
anybody to self-combust on the screen right before.
And I have very spotty service here. Sorry. So
Okay.
All
right. So tell us about you really quick, and we'll go around the room really quick.
So I'm Alice DeWitt. I live normally in Gilbert, Arizona. Right now I'm actually at a family reunion in New Mexico, out on a ranch, and a 10,000 acre ranch, and kind of in the middle of nowhere. So service isn't great, but I'm so happy to be on this team. Randy and Jeanette have been awesome, and I've been involved with OPTAVIA since 2012, and I love it. It's awesome. What else did you want to know?
Well, we'll just introduce them, then I'll have everybody go around and tell a little bit about their popcorn takeaways. So, great. Thank you. Jan Signori, tell us about you.
I have to unmute. Okay, my name's Jan Signori, and I live now, hard to get the words out of my mouth, in Salt Lake City, Utah.
In a brand new house, we might add. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a slow adaptation. I lived in Boston and then in DC for 25 years. So anyway, I've been in the business since 2012, maybe?
2012, is it?
And did it very intensely for a while, or pretty intensely. And then the last couple of years, I've been the opposite of intense. And Randy and Jeanette have been amazing mentors because they have hung in with me and gone at the pace that I wanted to go, which has been almost nothing recently. But my good friend Karen Green said, hey, girlfriend, let's get rolling here. And I think it's very exciting what the company's doing, the changes. And I'm very interested to hear about this international expansion. I don't think they'd be doing that if things were going really well. So I'm very excited about that. And I was a MetaFast lead for Randy, just went online and signed up for the program. Am I the luckiest human being in the world or what? So here I am.
Most of those leads, about 90% of them don't do anything. So I was.
Most of them, they're like bogus people.
Great. All right. Good. Kylie, tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, I had to take you off mute real quick. I'm Kylie. I live in Duchesne area, Utah, in a little town called Talmadge that nobody knows. I'm a registered nurse. I'm at work right now. A few minutes to do both really quick, so I might be in and out. But I've been a coach since March of this year.
Awesome.
And I'm really enjoying it.
Good. And who's your coach, Kylie?
Tanya Crosby.
Awesome. You guys are on a great team.
My coach is Trishelle Wingert, or Trishelle Rio. She's my aunt. And then Tanya is our business coach.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. All right, Camp, you and your wife, tell us about you guys.
Okay. We started April 2017. Became coaches probably a couple months later. Been having a good time, fun. It's been interesting. Tanya's our coach. She'd probably like us to work a little bit harder than we do, but we're just a little bit slower than she is. So
everyone's a little slower than Tanya is.
Yeah, probably everybody. But it's been a very good experience. We really enjoy it. We were at convention and had a great time.
Yeah, awesome.
A lot.
Okay, does your beautiful wife have anything to add to that too?
Yeah, she likes to hide over there. So she's
well, yeah, that's great. Yeah, so glad to meet so many of you guys at convention. Okay, Karen Green, tell us about you.
I am Karen Green, and I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. And I have been in the business since June of 2012. I, like Jan, went barnbuster and then kind of let some health issues get in the way and those are straightening out now. So yes, I called Jan and said, let's go get it going again. And Randy and Jeanette have been very gracious to adopt me and to kind of be with them on their team a little bit. My mentor has retired, and so we are jumping into the fire and looking forward to going to convention next year and getting the ball rolling up to that point.
Oh, we're so glad that you're with us, Karen. Well, Randy and Jeanette Karchner, I'll let Jeanette tell a little bit about herself, but I've been a coach since 2009, probably about February of 2009, and I haven't looked back. It completely changed my life, and so I'm glad I'm here. And my mentor is the same as Karen's, that Kim Fisk, who's built an amazing business and is just a fantastic coach. She has retired and gone on to other things, and so Brian Drollinger is very kind to also help with the mentoring of our team as well. So we're very blessed to have that. And then I married my lovely wife, and I'll let her tell the story, but she got involved in this because, I was a musician before, and now I'm not doing that full time. And now what is this coaching thing you're doing? So
Yeah, I kind of married into it. And I am the tech support, and wherever I can help out, that type of thing. It's Randy's really the coach. I just kind of help out wherever I can. I'm a professor also, so that keeps me busy as well. So that's about it.
Good, awesome, everybody. So glad you're on the call. Let's just go ahead and we'll start where we started. First, Alice, you want to tell us? Let's just go around, and anybody who was at convention, go ahead and tell us what your favorite takeaways were that you learned, and you just pick a few of them that mean a lot to you, and then we'll share some more stuff at the end. But go ahead, Alice, tell us what some of your things were.
Oh, well, and I think my connection is kind of unstable. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just talk loud.
It looks like my video is kind of messed up. So I have to tell you that I really dragged my feet to get to convention, and I almost didn't go. I called Randy in the 2 days before when I could still cancel my hotel reservation. It was still in that window, and I had no roommate. I was totally stressed out about everything that was going on, and I said, I can't do this. I need you to, I'm either not going or you have to really convince me to go. And I guess because deep down I really wanted to go, he talked to me for like 45 minutes, calmed me down, and I was like, all right, I'll go. And so I'm so glad I went. It was awesome. It was amazing, of course. Okay, so to break it down, I would say the three things that I most took away from it is it was a really good reminder for me why I'm still doing this 6 years later. And because what we have to offer is amazing, and I knew that, but it was a really good reminder to see the leaders of the company and to see how much they really care and how much it really is what we have is really amazing. That was a really good reminder for me, and to see all the leaders. And I was very I was very excited. I'm very excited about this Asia expansion, and hopefully I can involve in that. But one of the biggest things that I realized is that I have not done a good job of sharing the full program with everyone. I share the weight loss with people, and but I realize that there are a lot of people out there who need not just what we have for weight loss. They need the rest of it, and how this can really bless people financially. And so I have learned that I need to do a better job of really sharing the full program with it, with getting to truly get healthy mind, healthy finances, as well as a healthy body. There's probably a million other things that I could tell you. I know there's things I learned for me personally that I want to do better at. One of them is to just get over myself and live more out loud and not be ashamed of the fact that I've gained some weight back, and just be myself and be willing to tell people that I'm still on my health journey even while I'm a coach and I'm not perfect. And so anyway, it was just really awesome. And the last convention I went to was a few years ago. And I told Randy, I said, I can't get, I mean, I don't need to go to convention. This is before that couple days before, when I was stressed out about all the other things going on in my life, and said, I'm not going to get any special benefit out of being there. I don't have to be there. I can hear all this stuff later. I can watch recordings. I can read your notes. I can, what am I really how is this really going to help me? And I really can testify to you that actually being there helped me more than I could have learned from someone telling me. If those of you who are parents, here's the best example I can give you. If you have children, you know that you try to tell them things and they don't hear it. But if you can get maybe grandma or maybe a school teacher or someone else who they trust, and they'll say exactly the same thing you've been telling your kids forever, but they finally hear it. And that was one of the big things, is that I needed to be there to hear these people I'd never met before, that I didn't know. I mean, Randy's wonderful, and I have other great mentors that I talk to, but it's so good to hear it from other people. It's good. So I don't know. I'm just rambling. Sorry.
No, that's great. Thank you so much, Alice. You said a whole lot there, and I think all of us who went can totally agree with you. Okay, camp, you guys want to tell us a little bit about some of your takeaways?
Sure. I didn't know there was going to be a test when I signed on for this.
You're just sharing little things that meant something to you.
Well, I really enjoyed Dr. A. He was extremely helpful, very knowledgeable, very sympathetic. He just seemed to make everything clear whenever he'd say it. It was amazing. Somebody else could say almost the same thing, and they did. Several people did, and he was just very clear and precise, and you left feeling, hey, it just was explained to me. So it was really nice. I like the fact that we've got new fuelings coming. I like the drink fuelings. Those are real nice. I know I need to do the training a lot better. That's what I probably took away the most, that I'm not as well trained as I thought I was. So I don't have answers, and right now I'm proving it.
Oh, hey, you know what? And thanks for sharing that. It's not a race.
No.
And you've got a great mentor. Just plug in with Tanya on that.
Right.
And yeah, she has some stuff that she can send to you to have you start doing. So you're doing great. The fact that you were there, that's awesome.
Well,
good.
I have this young lady to blame for that. She made sure I went, and she was going to go no matter what, but she wanted me to go no matter what. So it was good.
Well, our companions are the ones who provoke the good work sometimes out of us. So that's good. Awesome. That's very good. Okay, let's see. Moving on. Kylie, did you go? Did you get to go?
Yes.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did. Okay, good. All right. All right. Did you want to share anything, Kylie, or are you still at work and it's not a good thing? Oh, you have to unmute.
I thought I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I can share for a minute. I got so much out of convention. Just mostly like time management for me is huge. I got 4 little kids at home and work this job. I don't work a lot here, but I work 12 hours, so it's takes a lot out of my week, and just have a lot going on. So it was really good for me to hear some of those moms that had little kids at home and stuff, and how they manage their time. And I just realized that I waste the time, that we all have the same 24 hours in the day, and that I just out how to manage my time more so that I don't feel like I feel like I always have OPTAVIA on my head and always on my brain, and that I feel like I'm working it all day, and I need to make business hours so that it's not taking over my life. So
Correct.
that's that I really need to work on. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
There is. Because how long is it going to matter? Is it going to matter who actually cut the grass? No. Is it going to matter who taught my kids? Yes. Second question is, what are you doing now to accomplish it? What did you do this week to be able to get closer to that dream? And so I think that's so it's sort of been on my mind, this idea of dreaming and that you make a plan. So, you got your dream at the end, but that you're going to make a plan there, because the dream's great, but unless you've got some steps to get you there, it's still going to just be this big, nebulous thing. And then the two other things that I really loved was talking about growing into leadership, not just a rank. That the reason why you're doing this is to build yourself up as a leader. And, ranks shows that you're helping more people, but that's not what the important thing is. It's that it's the personal development. And then this one especially applies to us. You may be slower, but you will get to the top, and the view is the same at the top. So I
Awesome.
I thought that was awesome. So anyway, those are my takeaways.
Okay. Well.
Hey, Jeanette, would you repeat the 4 questions that Becca Tinter said?
Sure.
I got the first 2, but not the second 2.
It was second. You want the first 2 or the second 2? What are you doing each day, and how is your life benefiting?
Okay.
And by the way, Tanya had posted Becca Tinter's video from the presentation at the convention.
Oh, she did. Oh, it was.
Yes. I copied it, and Tanya and I swap back and forth all the time. I put it in Karshner Team as well, gang. So you can go in there, click on it, and watch it. It's about 30 minutes long, and it's amazing. For my takeaways, I mean, I tried really hard to, instead of typing all the words, because I'm a fast typist, and not getting as much out of it, I tried to only type the things that meant something to me. But there were certain sections of this that they were doing the screen so fast, I tried to type a bunch of stuff.
I'm his mentor. He lives in.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, how are you?
Okay. Ron, who's on with you?
This is my sister Diana. She signed up. Sorry, moved.
Hi, Diana.
2 days ago. Was to health coach. She's been a client with me, and she's now a new coach.
Excellent. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you.
What we're doing is we're all of us who went to convention are taking just a moment to share our popcorn takeaways, like several things that meant a lot to us that we remembered. So Ron, you're up next, and then I'm after you. Do you have anything that really stuck out to you that you want to share with the group?
The biggest thing that stuck out to Mindy and I was just being more intentional in all that we do, and for us personally, better time management. We waste a lot of time doing things that are not productive for either our business, our family, or other important things that we need to focus on. So that would probably be the biggest thing that we took, is just being a lot more intentional with how we do things and managing our time better.
Yeah, that's great. There was a lot about time management in there, and we can all agree that if you get away from your calendar and stop scheduling things, then you waste a lot more time. But I learned this from my wife, and we've been trying to be very intentional, and they talked about this a lot at convention, about something about your calendar. I'm just trying to remember where I put that. But
your calendar should be your boss.
This should be your boss. You schedule time, and that also gives you the permission to be able to say, no, I'm sorry, I have an appointment. Somebody needs you. Sorry, I've got an appointment. You don't need to explain everything to everybody. You're busy. We were talking to one of our coaches, and I've said this before, you kind of have to get to a point, and you have to figure that out for yourself. You kind of have to get to the point where, unless there is blood spurting out of you, do not bother me in my office on my time. I mean, we've said that to kids before. It's like, I work at home. Just because I'm home doesn't mean I'm always available, So they kind of stress that in this whole thing too. we have the time freedom, but you have to really schedule your time or it can get away from you. So I have like so many things that I bolded out. So I'm just, I'm going to pick a few of these things just to kind of mention to you. I love something that Dr. Anderson said right at the beginning that meant a lot to me. We don't need chronic disease. 95% of it we can eliminate. That's huge. In other words, you've got to get in front of a lot of that stuff, but that's why Dr. Anderson left the regular critical care medicine field that he was in. He wanted to get on the other side of medicine. So 95% of the world is fine. If you ask me how they're doing, they're fine. That means they're just dealing with life as it comes, and they're fine. But if you're ready to change the world, you have to be more than fine. You have to be that extra 5%. That's something that really meant a lot to me too. Something else I heard, and I've said this before, and I keep telling myself this, other people's opinion of me is none of my business. So we don't care. My wife is reminding me of this a lot because I'm a very emotional musician. I feel things. I'm weird because I'm more emotional than I am like thinking like my wife does, like a computer science professor. But it's like you have to learn to not care what people think. And we heard people at convention talk about that. That was one of the biggest fears in some of the people who are coaches up there standing, getting past their own fears. And that's one of my things, is caring too much about what people think. So that was big for me. You're creative. You know what? Dan Bell obviously says something great. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Also true of a lot of people that make six figures. They're still living paycheck to paycheck. So it doesn't matter whether somebody has a lot of money coming in or not. You know, we all have to learn to manage our time and our money. We're all fishing in the same pond. Some people have more lines in the water. Okay? Meaning, we're all out there trying to find people to help. You just have to talk to more people. You have to put more lines out there. Are all of them going to come? No, they're not. But you have to talk to more people to have more people be ready. And so, again, it comes into play. We don't care what they think. We're just offering it to them. Do you want this cookie or not? Okay, it's a yes or a no. If you don't want it, that's fine. I don't care. I'll offer it to somebody else. You know? Okay. Another thing was give yourself grace because it takes time. The ability to grow will match the size of your dream. So what is your dream? You have to figure that out first. And then if it's big enough so that you have to work just a little bit to get it, it'll mean a lot more to you. Let me scroll down here so I don't take too much time. There's so much stuff in here. We have a new OPTAVIA president of the U.S. is Nick Johnson. First of all, he's hilarious. He kept everybody in stitches the whole time he was talking. But he's really, really good. He came, I think it was in New Skin, I believe before, with Dan Chard, the Medifast president. So they really understand how to do foreign markets. And it's amazing as we're going into Hong Kong and Singapore. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Jeanette said something about this. Growing fast isn't always good. It's about growing into leadership, not a rank. So instead of like, oh, I can't believe I'm not a global yet, or so-and-so is already there, how come I'm not there? You know, things that we've heard or we thought to ourselves. It's not a race. I mean, I'm almost been a coach for 10 years. I'm on the 10 or 11-year plan here, folks. I mean, it's not a race. It's about just moving forward and getting better all the time.
I was just waiting for you.
Yep. You guys hear me okay? Okay. Dan Bell said this, know that you are worthy. Put one foot in front of the other and just keep moving. That's huge, okay? Because sometimes we forget about that stuff. Be a life giver. Shut off the noise. You are made for greatness. It will always be about serving others and impacting lives. If your heart is in the right place, and if we do the heart work, like Megan Valentine said, it's about you do the hard work and you do the heart work. We have to have our heart in the right place to serve other people. If it's in the right place, it kind of shields us from some of the crap because it's about what we're trying to accomplish here. We don't care what other people think, okay? Easier said than done. A couple more things here really quick. I love the fact that that OPTAVIA is for everyone. We had some group of presidential and global directors that are Orthodox Jewish, and they couldn't come to convention, but Nick Johnson went to celebrate with them at a special dinner just for them. And they all got to talk. And it's just amazing how they're helping so many people. This is truly for everybody. Okay, here's something else. You'll laugh about this. Dr. Frey said this. There's no such thing as big boned. How many times have we heard that? I'm bigger boned. I can't lose weight as fast as somebody else. You know, how many times? Have anybody ever heard that? I have, a lot. You know, so that's the excuse. Big boned, he said, Dr. Anderson said, there's only about a 4 to 5 pound difference between regular or big bone people. So, okay, that one sort of turned that one on the ear. So a good thing to remember. Okay, let's talk about Asia really quick. Why is Hong Kong and Singapore? There's a little passport. You can get it online and just download it.
Yeah,
There's some little graphics on it.
There's the expansion thing.
Yes, 54% of Asians are actively trying to lose weight. And you know why? Because they're eating American food. What does that say? You know, we got McDonald's and everything else like that. But, Dr. Anderson said we're on the verge of becoming an international overnight sensation. It's about globesity and diabesity, which is the epidemic. So globesity, diabesity is the greatest contributor. Diabetes and obesity is diabesity. Okay, so it's great. We're exporting our food habits all over the world. Isn't that what we're doing? We're teaching people unhealthy habits because of the kind of food that we're eating. So it's our job to help teach them the healthy habits. In 20 years, Asia has gone through the same decline in health and obesity as the West did in 100 years. Isn't that amazing? I mean, so that's how fast it's happening. So I think that's why we're expanding into those particular countries. Let's see. Oh, we also have Clovis Lau is the Vice President of Business Development in Asia and the Pacific. And he came out, he's a Chinese gentleman. He joined in November of 2017. He's been receiving training for 9 months living in Baltimore. He's been away from his family for 9 months. Well, I'm sure he gets a chance to go home and visit them, but he came out and just such a humble man. He was so excited about the possibility of helping Asians. Is there anything else, honey, that I've forgotten about that?
No, I think there's this program called, let's see, what is it? It's called the Health Ambassador Program and that kind of thing. And if you want to learn about it, I think probably the easiest thing to do is just look for the expansion thing. And the focus that I think everyone was trying to get across, because I mean, what's the first thing I'm saying? I don't know anybody in Hong Kong or Singapore. Like, you know, what good is this going to do me? But the emphasis was on that you should be taking care of your business at home, and then just be looking for people that do have connections, and that you just keep doing what you're doing, basically. But look for those additional, you know, ask those questions that might let you see that, you know, someone does have some connections in that area, which, you know, might be beneficial. So I think that was important because, you know, I am not thinking of, you know, I don't know anybody, but I don't know that I don't know someone who knows somebody in Hong Kong. I just haven't ever thought to ask the question. So I think that was kind of what they were trying to emphasize, is that, you know, don't say this isn't for me. Just maybe start thinking about other ways of asking questions and seeing, you know, who. And
you don't have to know Chinese or Mandarin or, you know, the other, what's the other Chinese language? Cantonese. You don't have to know that to be able to help people in those countries, because most of them speak English. It's like a second language to them.
So Jan and Karen, do you have any questions? You know, things that were of concern.
Health systems, did that come out?
Oh, that is yes. Habits of Health 2.0 is going to be coming out, and that's going to be an app, and it integrates right with the program on your phone. So that's really cool. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a few bugs when it first starts out, but it's great because you can plug information in there and it just corresponds. Oh, and the other thing is the drink stuff.
Yeah, the purposeful hydration is what the other thing that they launched at, well, they didn't launch it. It's not going to actually be available till the 13th of August, but they, we got to try it, that kind of thing. So, so that was kind of their new stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to integrate in drinking water throughout the day, and they're going to be using like a 24-hour clock where it helps people, kind of know when to do certain things throughout the day, just to make it as automated as possible and easy for them.
Which I think the app is going to also be doing that as well. It's going to be, reminding you of, when to hydrate and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
Yes, Jen.
So I saw something just browsing around last night online that they're no longer calling it the Habits of Health. Is that right? It was. Did you see that?
I don't.
I didn't see that.
Only I could remember.
It's
Well,
because
they were calling it like Habits of Health 2.0 or something, just because it's going to be the next version.
That's just a working name.
What's that?
Dr. A said he's calling it Habits of Health 2.0 just as a working name, but it's not going to really be called that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Revising it.
Okay, I thought I saw something.
yeah,
If I find it, I'll put it in the chat so you can see what it was. Gosh. Well, let me ask the other question. How did the purposeful hydration, are they taking the place of the infusers? Is that the intent?
No, they're actually, they actually have, there's a purpose. Like the one I was paid attention to was the one it's called Replenish, I think, that it's supposed to be for the end of the day. And it's got magnesium and potassium in it. That's kind of like its focus. Then there were other ones that were called Be Active that had the B vitamins in it and are supposed to help at the cellular level. And then they had one that was the morning one. I don't remember what it was called, Sunrise or something. And it was the antioxidants and those kinds of things. So they each kind of have their own purpose.
It's a wardrobe of hydration as opposed to
Right.
A wardrobe. So the infusers really don't. I mean, they just use it for a little flavor and some color. But this is more than that.
Okay.
in the kit. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
They are going to have a kit, but nothing's going to be available till the 13th of August, I think.
No, I mean, our hydration is going to be part of the essential kit.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that, I don't know if that's the only way to do it, but at least that's going to be a way to do it, where it'll have two boxes of the whatever it's called, the purposeful hydration. Yeah. In the kit. Yeah.
Interesting. Do they have a page out yet with the information on the nutrition and everything, or not yet?
I haven't seen anything, but I haven't gone looking for it either.
Okay.
So, I mean, on the slides they had stuff, so there's it's obviously out somewhere. I just don't know if it's available.
We find stuff, we'll put it in there, or if you guys find something on it, go ahead and put it in our Karchner team. And
was that the only new product launch with convention? Were there any new fuelings or anything?
No,
not yet, but I'm sure there will be some more coming out. And they're talking about maybe in the foreign countries, they may have a few things at some point that are kind of local cuisine.
In fact, they are. I think he mentioned like 4 different things that were going to be a little bit different. Like there was like a dum yum soup or something. I don't know. Anyway, so the 4 things that are specific for the Asian market.
But will they offer that in worldwide to all markets, or
That
only?
I don't know. They didn't say specifically, but just that they were going to be having some new ones. And of course, that I don't think that's available till January. So
maybe they'll test them there and see how they do, and if they do well, they'll roll them out everywhere else. But I think it'd be exciting to have some Asian choices, because Asian is such a popular food choice.
Yep, definitely.
Well, again, with the connections for Hong Kong and Singapore, we all have friends on Facebook, and I'm sure that some of them has friends in that area as well. So if you're talking to people and just saying, oh yeah, by the way, OPTAVIA is going to be in Hong Kong and Singapore. So if you know anybody that might need help, I would love to be a resource, or something like that. So
well, most Asian people, I hate to make a generalization here, have family in their country of origin still.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty close ties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You may even know some people in the community who know somebody. And, just the way we spread the word, but you can totally coach people with messenger phone calls, over the internet or Zoom calls. It really isn't any different. So, but there's more stuff about this coming out, but if you become an ambassador there's certain kind of qualifications for that. You also get a 1% something of,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what that means. You get an extra little thing coming because you're doing an international thing. So
anyway.
Cool. Anybody have any other questions?
If only I could think of them all.
Okay.
Well, you can always throw something in your coach.
Yeah. If you guys, anybody who has to go ahead, and thank you so much. We're going to stop the recording, but see you guys and reach out anytime.